Split testing made my content 10 times better, got me so many more views, gave me so much more exposure, and it's ridiculously simple to do. In fact, it frustrates me that barely anyone who posts short form content online knows how to split test, and it's a really easy, simple tweak that you can make to your content to literally guarantee that your organic content will do so much better. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how split testing content completely changed the game for me when trying to get organic viral views. I'm going to show you some examples of how I do it within my business and within other consultancy work that I do. And then I'm going to show you how you can do it for your account to get you so many more views and followers. So a little while ago, I was scrolling on TikTok and I started noticing that this guy called Dan Martell would post every day, but he posts two versions of the exact same video. Then I saw a video that he created where a kid was asking him, "Hey Dan, why do you post two versions of the same video every single day?" And he replied, "What I do is split test. I upload the same video, but with a slight different tweak. Perhaps one version will have quicker cuts, or it might have a slightly different hook, or he might trim off the ending, and he'll post two versions to see which one performs better on TikTok." Dan's strategy was that he was split testing all of his short form content onto TikTok first, and he'd see which one would perform best on TikTok. And then he'd take that winner video and post it on every other platform: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, you name it. Now I looked and it seemed to work really well because he'd split test a video and one video would get 30k views and another would get 500k views. So in my head I was like, well, this clearly works. And something really interesting that Dan said is that TikTok don't actually penalize you for re-uploading the same video again and again and again. And I personally know this is true. I've got over 2 million combined followers on my personal accounts, and I've been reposting for years upon years. In fact, I've got this one video that I post on TikTok every single time it gets really hot in the UK, and I'll just repost it again and again and again, and every single time it gets hundreds of thousands of views. So I know for a fact that TikTok does not penalize you if you upload something again. And I could clearly see that Dan's account was thriving, it was doing well, even though he was posting the exact same piece of content twice. In fact, many of his followers didn't even really seem to care. And the reason this works is because people don't go onto your profile when they go onto TikTok and scroll across each single video and think, hey, that's the same video twice. They just go on their For You page, and the For You page only pushes what is most relevant and what is the best content. So I started split testing with my business partner Samuel Leeds. I helped do all of his short form content. We began to split test some of his videos and oh my goodness, the results were just insane. Let me show you this one here. So I uploaded the same video twice, and it was this idea that I came up with, completely original, called Sell Me This Pen. Now you've probably heard it before, but we actually did a bit of a twist with it. So I uploaded two versions of the same video. And in fact, they both have the exact same intro, the exact same hook. The only difference between these two is the first video I uploaded a slightly shorter version, so a version that didn't have the outro or the end part. But with the second version, I uploaded the full version with the end part. Now in my head, I couldn't decide between which two to post. I thought the one that had a shorter version might do better, but I didn't know because I also quite liked the full version that we created. So I decided this would be my first ever split test. We posted both, and guess what? The first version got 19k views, which, look, isn't the worst, but the second version is on 797,000 views. And the reason this worked so well is because we were then able to post that winner version onto Instagram and YouTube and also rack up hundreds of thousands more views because we know that video is proven to go viral. So when you create content like this video here, we put a lot of effort into it. Now, of course, we filmed tons of videos that day, but we want to give every single video that we create the best possible chance to go viral. And if you're not split testing, you're not giving it the best possible chance to go viral, because you can put all this effort in and it can be a really great, impactful video, tons of education. But if you get the beginning bit wrong, if you structure the video a little bit differently, then that can be the difference between it getting 1 million views or just 100 views. And I'm being dead ass serious. It could just be that your video is slightly too long. It could be that your video is slightly too short. It could be that the hook, now this is what it will be most of the time. Most of the time it will be that the hook just needs to be tweaked ever so slightly. So if you can do a slight tweak to a video, chances are you can get it to blow up way more. So we started doing this again and again and again and again. Now here's another really cool example. So by this point we were doing every single video as a split test, and this was a reaction video. Now the version 1 that I posted ended up getting 143,000 views. But the version 2 that I posted got nearly 250,000 views, which is super duper interesting because actually both versions perform pretty well. And we do tend to find this now. Sometimes we'll split test and version 1 and version 2 will actually both do quite well. But the thing is, if we're posting them both and they're both getting views and different people are seeing the same video just posted at different times, then actually what's wrong with posting the same video twice? And we know which one ultimately is better that we should post onto other platforms. But the difference was with this video is version 1 was about 2 minutes long, and version 2 was about 1 minute long. So I basically halved the time. So if you're ever investing all this time to create short form content, I'd really advise you just create 2 different versions of it. It can be the simplest tweaks. For this one, I literally just cut out a bunch of extra stuff that he said and made it a lot shorter, and it got a lot more views. Again, here you can see these 2 videos where someone stopped Samuel in the street and asked him a question. There were 2 versions I uploaded. One version had a slightly longer intro hook section, and one version had it slightly clipped. The version with the longer intro hook section got 280,000 views, but when it was slightly clipped, it got 112,000 views. I think actually both versions worked, they both did well, but it's confirmation to us that this version, this slight little tweak where we made the intro a little bit longer, actually is the one that we're going to post onto all the other platforms. Now, it's not just Samuel's account that we do this with. I've also been doing it on my account, so let me show you an example. We recently had one of my red flag, green flag videos go completely viral, 2.1 million views. You can see it here. Now, I actually privated the version that didn't do as well, but I'll show you it in my privates. Here we go. It literally was on, it was posted for about 3 hours and it had about 500 views. When I tell you, like, a slight tweak in the intro, a slight different hook can be the difference between 500 and 2 million views, I genuinely mean it. Like, this version, I could tell from when I posted it, it wasn't getting much engagement, it wasn't getting many comments, but the other version, it just flew. It was just flying and flying and flying. And you know, it really did well. It got me loads of followers to my accounts. I mean, if we go in the analytics here, 500 new followers to my account, and it did really good on the engagement. It just goes to show, split test all your content. Now, what are the ways that you can split test your content? The number one way that you're gonna want to look at is just doing a different hook at the beginning of your video. So maybe when you script your videos, you might actually wanna script 2 different hooks, or maybe 3 hooks. You could have 2 hooks, and then just a third version. And you can split test 3 videos. I've done it plenty of times, not just 2. The third version that you post might just be you getting straight into delivering the value, the content, because sometimes different audiences want different things. You can also just try tweaking a video by making it slightly longer or slightly shorter. Sometimes you don't know what people prefer more, because the thing is with social media, you can make a short form video as long as you want it to be. It's just, can you keep the viewer engaged for the entire duration of that video? That's what's important. And the best way to be able to ensure you can keep them engaged is by posting different versions. I mean, if you look on YouTube, YouTubers are constantly split testing thumbnails. Marketers, they're constantly split testing Google ads and Facebook ads. They look at which one does better and then they double down on the ones that do better. Well, short form content, organic content, you basically are just doing the same. You're just split testing each time. Sometimes I'll do a split test where it will be, I'll just put some text on the screen below where I'm talking. And then in the other video, I won't put the text on. And sometimes it's those small tweaks that just make all the difference. This is genuinely something that I'm surprised more people don't do. It can get you hundreds of thousands, if not millions more views for free. And it's incredibly easy to do. If you're already going through the hassle of making short form content, you're putting in the effort, then you want it to get the best amount of views possible. Split testing is something that I highly recommend that you guys do. Let me know if you've got any questions about how to split test in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. If you are interested in me helping you level up your short form content, your strategy, I regularly gain millions of views a month for my clients and for myself. I've grown people to hundreds of thousands of followers. If you're interested, there'll be a link down below to learn more. Thank you for watching the video, guys. Appreciate it.